Okay, good morning. For the record, I'm Chris Young, Chair of the HDC's SAC. Members, please respond with an aye. We have Kevin Kuster
Aye.
and Ben Norman,
Aye.
Mark Catone,
Aye.
Paul Wolf,
Aye.
and for staff, we have Kathy Flynn.
Present.
This meeting of the HDC's SAC is being conducted remotely consistent with Governor Baker's executive order of March 12th, 2020. The order posted with the agenda materials for the meeting allow public bodies to convene remotely so long as public access to deliberations is reasonably provided. The meeting is convening via Zoom with audio and video recording available on the town's YouTube channel. We will feature public comment. Materials provided to members for the meeting are provided during the meeting are unless otherwise noted available on the town's website. I'll introduce agenda topics and speakers. Please remember to mute your Zoom audio until your name's called and direct comments and questions through the chair to avoid crosstalk and make taking of minutes easier. Votes will be conducted by roll call. So we'll call the meeting to order at 9:01 on September 23rd, 2025. And do we have a motion to adopt our agenda?
So moved.
Thanks, Kevin.
Second.
Thanks, Paul. Mark, you in favor?
Aye.
And Ben?
Aye.
And Paul?
Aye.
Kevin?
Aye.
Great. We don't have any minutes to approve at the moment. Do we have anybody on the call for public comment not related to an application? Okay, seeing nobody. Do we have any commissioner comments that would like to be made? Okay.
Chris,
Yes, Paul.
I would like to discuss Kathy's memo about enforcement.
Enforcement? Okay. Well, during enforcement, let's let her, she can kind of go over that. Does that sound good? Just before you got on, Paul, we were just talking a little bit about how this will work.
Okay.
And it is something new, but let's get through the first. We only have one applicant here today, and then we can talk about that. That'd be great. So do we have anybody on the call? I do see Milan here for 149 Orange Street.
Yes, and I'll pull up the application.
Great. Go ahead, Milan, if I'm pronouncing your name correctly, and introduce us to this application.
Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me right?
Yes.
Yes, we can. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, we are taking over Shangri-La on 149 Orange Street and then making it the Island Blend. We give the name because we're going to have a blend of different food like pizza and then sushi and then Turkish food and some American food. And the sign's going to be right over the door, as you can see on the application. Yes, it's
Okay.
it's a beautiful color.
Mr. Chair, through you, do you see the
Yes,
application?
Kathy.
No.
It's not on the screen at the moment. I'm
Okay, hang
seeing
on.
it in front of me.
If you wait a minute, I'll get it up right away.
My own screen, but just for everybody's reference, it's 6 feet by 14 inches tall, which does comply. It's wood, beveled, carved, painted gold leaf and Essex green. So it's
Yes.
it's a quarter board essentially. Over the front door on Orange Street.
Yes, sir.
Does everybody have a chance to see it in the view pack?
Just like to confirm that it is actually wood and not an MD product.
It's wooden, yes, sir. And sign here, Nantucket is doing the job. Yes,
Thank you.
you're welcome, sir.
All right, so Kevin, any other comments?
No, I think it's appropriate. And
Okay. Ben?
Yeah, I have a couple nitpicking things. If we could look at the actual sign, Kathy, if you just keep going a little bit more. Okay, this is fine, I guess. Oh, actually, can you go one more just so we see just this? Yeah, there it is. Perfect. So I love the border. I like the scalloped edges, but I think the actual sign, the shape of the sign needs to follow that scalloped edge, so it's not a pointy corner. Yeah, so that actually needs to get clipped. The wood itself needs to get clipped there too. So I like to see that happen. And you know, I again, I'm sorry to be nitpicky, but the being so small just looks kind of awkward, and then the way that the and blend kind of goes into the side, the map of the island, it just seems like there's something's wrong with the scale and the kind of balance of the sign. I mean, the is bothering me right off the bat. If it was high and over to the side and smaller, so I don't know. There's something unbalanced about just the layout of the lettering and the map. But if otherwise the location is fine, the size is fine, and the colors are great. But I think the scalloped edges and the balancing of the content seems to be off.
We can I talk?
Yeah, let us just go around with all of the
Okay.
commissioners first, and then we'll come
Okay.
back to you, okay?
Sounds good. Sounds good. Sounds good. Sorry.
So, that's all right. So Ben, did you have any other?
No, that was it.
Those are
Mark?
good comments.
Chris, myself, did you say?
Yes, Mark.
Yeah, I don't have any concerns. I think it's actually fine. It's gonna be one of the more handsome signs along Orange Street, honestly. I'm fine with the pointed corners and the composition of the island sort of sitting in the D, and yeah, really no issues. I appreciate the design and the submittal. Thank you.
Thanks, Mark. Paul?
I like the sign. I think it's handsome. I have a question about, there's currently a bracket, at least the picture shows a bracket up there that I am assuming has to come down.
Yes.
And it shows lighting, which is not applied for, so that has to come down as well.
Sir.
Okay. So my comments, I think, Ben, you pointed out, I didn't realize, I was thinking it was just a matter of the computer not clipping the corners. I think sign here definitely has the ability to clip the corners. Like, it would be nice since the border does indicate that if they could. I guess my other thought would be just square off the border inside of the rectangular frame if they didn't want to do that. But those are my thoughts and concerns. Milan, you wanted to speak again? Go ahead.
Yes. No. I can make the that changes Ben recommended, and with the D and map being so close, we tried putting a little away, and it looked even more awkward. So it this looked perfectly. That the sign here lady said she tried putting D and the map a little further, and it didn't look this good. So this was like better.
Okay. So when you say you'd be willing to make the changes, is that clipping the corners to follow the
Yes. Yeah,
profile
we
of
can do it.
the border?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And you are removing the bracket and the lighting that's indicated there, or that
Yes.
exists there?
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Does anybody want to make a motion? Ben,
Just one
Go
other
ahead.
question
Kevin,
is,
go ahead.
I'm assuming this is the only sign submitted, or are we going to be getting other signs?
Milan, what's your?
This is the only sign.
Okay, thank you.
You're
Motion to approve is submitted with the corners clipped on the beveled edges.
Second,
Okay. Ben, are you in favor of that?
Aye.
And Mark?
Aye.
And Paul?
aye.
And Kevin?
Aye.
I am as well. Okay. Thank you, and good luck with the new business.
Thank you so much. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank
You
you.
too.
Bye.
Okay, so enforcement. We were notified, Kathy, through you and Leslie, discussing sort of protocol that we need to change the way we discuss enforcement. You want to just give us a kind of a rundown on that
Yeah,
from your perspective?
yeah, through you, Mr. Chair, to the
Thanks.
members. Yeah, really, if you're discussing a business, they should be invited to the meeting. because that kind of opens up the open meeting law complaint issue. The reason, like I said before, I had posted a meeting without any signs, and that was brought to my attention by someone in town administration. So Leslie and I sat down and talked about it. And so we can be general in nature. I think if it's helpful, I can add more language to the spreadsheet saying what's happening. As far as, waiting for an application. I can give you a summary, in an email, just don't reply all. It's up for discussion, but at the meeting, we could invite somebody to a meeting, but that's really the only way we can really talk about it.
And when you
So
say
if
invite,
invited,
yeah,
sorry,
go ahead, Mark.
Chris. Well,
I
I
was
was
gonna
gonna ask if they're invited but do not show, are we able to
Yeah.
proceed with the discussion?
No, but yeah, because you really, you're talking about their business without them being present,
So if they never show,
right?
how do we proceed with the violation, I guess?
Well, I would staff does what they normally do. We send out the violation letter and they respond with an application. And if they don't, they're sent a citation. And that is actually, it goes beyond you all and it goes to the
Yeah.
court level.
So
Yeah.
procedurally, we identify a violation, we send it to the chair as we have in the past. The past chair forwards that along. It ends up on the violation spreadsheet. And then staff sends out the violation notice and it proceeds from there. Is that
Yes.
accurate? Okay.
Right. So usually we send out a courtesy notice.
Yeah.
They have 14 days to respond.
Yep.
And then normally I'll also send out a violation notice, and it's a little bit more formal. It's a little bit more.
Yep.
More teeth to it, and then I usually get a response by that with that notice. If they don't respond to either, it's a process. I've been involved with enforcement since 2019. I was here before with you guys with signs, and went to the health department for a couple of years, and then I came back into my current role, so I know a little bit more about it than I did before. So when we send out a citation, you have to allow the property owner to receive and respond. So the citation is an additional 21 days, and then that goes to the district court level. And the court magistrate makes that decision, not the sign council, not the HDC.
Yeah.
As to whether they pay the fine and go back to the HDC for you folks, or don't pay the fine but still come back to the HDC. And that requires monitoring on my end, which is fine, but it's not a quick process a lot of times. So many times we send out enforcement letters. It just takes time for folks to receive and respond. So I can update the spreadsheet, and as things happen, I can change that if that's helpful. I can add language to it, add another column, like what's happening, if that's helpful.
Kathy, just to go take it like a step further, that all makes sense, and thank you for explaining that. It's more sort of about how we manage the internal discussion moving forward. And sometimes I know there's a discussion, and I probably have an example of this, that I've cited something that I thought was in question. I will sometimes bring that up in this meeting format, and then there's been a discussion back. They'll say, "Oh yeah, that you're right, Mark. That does appear to be a violation." Or, "No, what, Mark? We actually did approve that about 6 months ago. They are in compliance." Can that dialogue happen, or that how should that discussion happen? Should it be an email to the chair with the question, or it's just sometimes it's not as black and white?
That's a
Sometimes
good
there's
question,
dialogue.
Mark. Because
Yeah.
I don't want to be the one who is the only person weighing in on whether, it is worthy. I've been passing everything on just because I'm not the judge of, what's considered a violation or not. So, and I want to continue doing that, but you're right. Otherwise, how do we stop from having
Right.
violations appear on the list that aren't really a violation or shouldn't be there? That's, Kevin, I think.
I have couple of questions or comments. If a person is on the agenda and their business and they choose not to come to the meeting, does that also mean that we can no longer approve something without them being there? That's one question. Number two is, couldn't we simply notify on the either on the notice or the violation notice that this is on the violation list and is subject to being discussed at future meetings? I see no problem with having the violation list posted publicly at every meeting as part of our agenda packet. It's public information, and those that are in violation will know, and other people will know. It seems that there must be some way to discuss our business in a broader sense. I mean, that, for instance, I sent in a violation that is now on the list, and I've come to realize that while I pointed out 2 of the areas that are in violation, there's actually 4 building fronts that are in violation. How do I have to resubmit a whole new photograph? And, so that kind of a thing. And also, I think that this list should be forwarded on a regular basis, to licensing, so that licensing sees when a business is not in compliance. I think that could be another sort of arm of enforcement. Anyway, those are some thoughts that I've had on that. I feel like there's a solution somewhere other than just cutting us off.
Mr. Chair, can I
Yeah.
just respond to that?
Oh, go ahead. I have a thought as well, but go ahead.
I think that's actually a really good idea. I was thinking about that before, about reaching out to like the tourism, the director of tourism and the folks who plan the events. To also don't forget to reach out to the sign council or the HDC to submit a sign, like to be proactive. Maybe that's to your point or not, Kevin, but reach out to other departments to make sure that they inform future businesses or future event holders that they need to go through this process also, before they have the event. Because it always seems like we're kind of like dog chasing tail, like it's already been out there and we're doing it after the fact. So I can definitely reach out to other town departments.
That would be helpful. In general terms, not naming anybody in particular, but let's say that there was some kind of an event, island-wide event that was being advertised using flags that were posted around town, banners. That would be something that group should be notified about not doing again in the future. Would be helpful. So it would be good to reach out. I think, Kevin, you're referring to maybe like Amy, who's renewing restaurant licenses, for example, right?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Where
business licenses,
yeah,
because some of these violators are violators now that are going on, 12, 15 years, and it's really getting ridiculous.
yeah. And to the point about, we've always discussed applications when I think we should confirm this, but if an applicant doesn't show up, we've still discussed their application. They knew that the meeting was posted. They had the opportunity to come. So I think that if something is posted, whether it's a new application or a violation notice, then we should be able to discuss it. They had the opportunity to come. If they choose not to, that's not a form of delaying the discussion. It shouldn't be a form of them just delaying the discussion indefinitely. So let's maybe try to get clarity on that, because I think that we should be able to discuss it. And as far as posting, we were directed by the Board of Selectmen when we went. They called us in a few years ago to specifically address violations. It was a question, should it be our purview or not? And Leslie, a year ago, even reiterated that it should be in our discussions. So I think we've been given a little bit of authority here to discuss violations, and we should make sure that we don't because of the open meeting law, we have to respect that, but I think we need to figure out how to be able to be effective. Talking in general terms is going to be difficult. So,
Well, I'll bring all that stuff back to Leslie.
yeah, I'll reach out to her too. I don't want to just make you be our go-between, but I think that there has to be some middle ground that works for the open meeting law and gives us the ability to be effective. But as far as everybody on the board, sending in, I will, as I've always done, forward pretty much everything. There's only a few, I think, Paul, you sent me one or two that were like the political signs, which Leslie has pointed out, don't think we're going to go down the road of like free speech, political, personal signs on people's lawns, which is unfortunate, but well, not unfortunate. It's been determined to not to be in our immediate purview. It's the only
Mr.
thing
Chair,
yes.
sorry for you to Kevin. Why don't you send me what you're referring to? Because I know I just picked this back up again a couple of weeks ago, so I want to make sure that the signs that you're referring to I've covered them as well. I may
Sure.
need an extra follow-up.
Sure, certainly.
We have a pending application, I believe, for one of the properties on our list, right? Or
Yeah,
somebody will be, and I think that's what
Yeah.
Kevin's referring to.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
okay.
will have a
Let
chance.
me try if I can, and you can cut me off if this is not too general, but kind of in the vein of what Mark had been expressing earlier. Generally in the past, we have not enforced, or that I could recall, or even brought up much discussion regarding sort of the address signs for people along, rural roads. I'm specifically talking about Pulpus Road. We do have, as I recall, in our guidelines that, people can put a simple rock form out with their house number on. Well, I've noticed over the past couple of years that as some of these newer, larger homes have gone in, it's no longer a simple hand-painted number on a rock. It's become little miniature obelisks that are 4 or 5 feet high. And there's one in particular that if my fellow commissioners drive down Pulpus Road, heading towards Sconset on the right-hand side, you'll see an entrance that has two, they must be at least 4 to 5 feet tall, stone monolithic pillars, one with the name of the resident in probably 4-inch letters stacked vertically, and the other post with with the house number on, and right behind that is a massive gate. So it would be, that may be enough information for anybody to go drive down Pulpus Road and find it. I will send in a photograph, but I raise it because in the past we haven't really enforced these kind of home signs. But as with everything, it seems on Nantucket, it seems to be growing where everything must scream for attention. And I think we should take a look at this. So that's why I raise it. Would that be an example of a general enough
Yes.
point?
That's pretty general. I'm looking in the sign book, generally speaking, and that's an interesting one, Kevin, because it in section who needs to apply, section 2.1 does say any residential, commercial, or municipal property owner wishing to display a sign exceeding 2 feet by 6 inches. So that
send in
opens
a
the door,
photograph.
but it's funny. There's not a lot of there's no specific section on address markers. Unfortunately, there are rock signs. There's that, but we'll have to see how that goes. But send it in so we can
Yeah, I will.
find out where it goes. And
So at that point,
I'll reach out.
how does everybody else see the photograph if we aren't?
That's a good question. So, yeah, what do you think about that, Kathy? How do we, if one person sends it in, I forward it, the other members haven't seen it.
If there's a violation, I can send out a violation letter and CC you all. And that picture will be sent, and be included in the violation letter.
Or can the photograph be put on the spreadsheet?
Oh, I'll just check with Leslie on that. But as far as the violation, but you make a good point about the violation letter because it is public record.
Mhm.
After it's sent, that's a good point. But like I said a few weeks ago, I used to send every time I send a violation letter, I used to CC you all on it. I could start that back up again, so at least you saw what
Could
Kevin.
violation letters be in the view pack?
That's a good question. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I would think that they
And if
could.
that's posted, then it's
But wouldn't we
Actually.
want to see, wouldn't we want to, wouldn't it be better form for all of us to agree that it's a violation rather than me just sending it to you?
well, that's what I'm saying. It's tough for me. I'm gonna forward it, generally speaking, unless it's, something Leslie has specifically said, this is free speech, which is the lawn sort of
Right.
placard. Say 20 is plenty, for example. If that's what was her feedback on that. So yeah, you're right. Well, let me speak with Leslie. Kathy, you can do the same, and we'll try to figure out how to navigate these new waters here. It's
Maybe we can have a meeting, you and Leslie and myself.
okay. I'm open for that anytime.
But I just want to thank you though, Kathy, for stepping up and doing it. And it would be a lot easier just to ignore this. And we've all put, as have you, we've all put a lot into it. So we want to keep it up. And I think that what we are doing is making a huge difference.
Yeah, and
Um,
it's education, and the thing that's difficult, between signs and fences and calibrates and things, color paint, is none of this stuff is attached to a permit, so it's difficult to enforce in that respect. And it's about education. As
Yeah.
I was here before, signs were never really and they pop up, but people always were pretty responsive to the violation letters, and they take them down right away. So I'm hoping that that's the same. That's
just one other, I'm sorry to be hogging the microphone here, but one other or comment I'd like to make is I've heard discussed at the select or from town administration in a couple of different venues that there is um, some sort of guidelines or recommendations coming about what is going to be allowed on the street. Um, and I'm assuming that means things like benches and uh, I would imagine signs are in that, and that there are some sort of guidelines that they're going to be coming out about having displays and stuff on town property. Um, so I don't know if they're clued into the issues we are having with stuff that's put on the sidewalks, uh, but maybe that would be worth at least having them be aware that we are also dealing with things that are put on the sidewalks.
Are you referring to downtown?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a police. Well, of course, there's two issues. There's the obstruction of public walkway, so that's the police, and then the HDC signs. So if that's what you're referring to, I do get emails.
Yeah, and I think there seems to be a lot more stuff. There's somebody has an umbrella out on Main Street. There's planters. There's
Right.
I'm assuming that's what this is going to address, but so far the comments that I've heard have been sort of vague, but there's going to be some guidelines coming out this fall. So
Right. To that conversation.
So if we could be a part of that or at least contribute to it, that would be helpful. Kevin, you think that's through the select board? Do you think it's through, or Kathy, do you know who's drafting
I
that?
think I mean I've heard Libby Gibson mention it at a select board meeting that there's
I can-
something coming in this summer or this fall.
Okay. Would
I
the
mean,
members here would like me to email Libby and just inquire and offer our, a support or interest in contributing?
I don't think it can hurt.
That's
Yeah.
a good idea.
Okay. I'll shoot Libby an email, and then I'll also email Leslie and you, Kathy, about sitting down, try to figure out how to have these conversations less generally. So, are there any other I mean, we really can't talk too much about enforcement other than this, I guess.
I mean, I just want to chime in. I love Kevin's idea of like the notice to the violator has a, hey, you've been warned, you may be, you are open to meet with the whatever violation section of the meeting, and then our violation is actually listed on our agenda and posted. Every person who's on our violation is like posted. And then I feel like that's a great way to cover ourselves and get people to realize that, their dirty laundry is being, shown to the whoever's watching. Not many, but I like that idea a lot, Kevin. I think that's smart.
I'll make sure that's what we talk about with Leslie and Kathy when the conversation happens. It makes sense. And including the violation notices in the view pack also posts them so that officially we can see them and, we're covered that they were indeed posted.
Yeah, because they are.
I think. So,
Great.
okay. Any other questions, comments,
Motion
motions?
to adjourn.
Second.
All right, Mark. Thanks, Paul. In favor?
Aye.
I think Paul. All right. Everybody in favor, Ben?
All
Kevin. Thanks, Kathy.
Bye, you
right.
guys.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.